Uh, uh, Members of the press, my name is Hon.Onderi, a member of the Kisii County Assembly. Let me say from the onset that today I have been surprised with the endless movie I have actually witnessed within the County Assembly. You remember last week, a notice of motion was brought to the Assembly in relation to the removal by way of impeachment of the deputy governor. Members of the press, I want you to know these facts. That standing order number 60 of the Kisii County Assembly requires specifically that the mover of the motion must table the grounds together with the particulars of allegations. But when that motion was tabled, I will tell you openly that there were only grounds, general grounds as provided under Article 181 of the Constitution, issues to do with abuse of office, gross violation of the law, which are general statements, but there were no specific charges or particulars of the allegations that were actually tabled with that motion. And we were very curious to actually establish what is this the deputy governor is being charged of. Today in the morning, that motion now was moved. But surprisingly, we realized that motion, the notice that was given last week on Tuesday, is completely different than the motion that was tabled. And the requirement of the standing orders are that when you move the motion must be similar in form and content as the notice that was given. To the extent I saw the speaker trying to read a document of 8 pages, and that is not the notice that was given last week. So in actual sense, already there was violation of the own standing orders of the Assembly. But most interestingly, we have also realized that the standing orders, of course, requires that process of removal of the deputy governor only cumulatively requires to take 10 days, non-bargainable. There are 7 days of notice, and when you give notice, then you are able to serve the person that you are accusing within those 7 days. That person will be able to respond in writing, and then within those 3 days, he will come and appear to actually exonerate himself from the accusations. Instead of the Assembly and the people who were moving this motion, now utilizing their time appropriately, because 10 days are ending on Friday, they have realized they do not have sufficient time to execute this otherwise purported removal, and they have resolved that they can be able to extend this motion by trying to amend the standing orders through Article 124 of the Constitution. It is important to say and to realize that anybody who is being accused, the burden of proof of the accusations remains with the accuser. And the Constitution, specifically Article 25, Article 47, and Article 50, safeguards and breathes life to the fundamental freedoms of any of the person who is accused. And therefore, that person requires to be given a fair hearing. We have realized, they actually realized they were not going to give the deputy governor an opportunity to be heard because it's only 3 days which are remaining, because the 10 days ends on Friday. So they have tried to circumvent the law to the level that they have now said they will begin another public participation to go and discuss on Monday through different fora at the community level. You have never seen that happen. In fact, the provisions of the standing order and other related laws require that when they tabled that motion, they needed to have created a special purpose committee that we called the ad hoc committee. It is that ad hoc committee that the deputy governor should have appeared to exonerate himself. But because of the incompetence of the people who were moving this motion, and they do not have the opportunity to create an ad hoc committee, they are looking for an avenue to be heard by the public, because the public needs to submit petitions. But they did not create an opportunity for the public to submit. So what have they resolved to do? They want to go to the public and begin to discuss with the public on allegations. And you know what is more laughable is the nature of the allegations. One allegation that the deputy governor quarreled with his brother and arrested the brother. I mean, if I quarrel with my brother and sister and my wife, are those matters you bring to the Assembly to transact? The other allegations that is being labeled there is that the deputy governor actually took a bribe of 800,000. And you know that 800,000, if you read through, and I'm going to give you a copy of the motion that has been moved. At some areas, they even say 799,000 and not 800. And you will see they are accusing that bribe to have been received on 28th May 2023. 10 months down the line, they want to follow up the deputy governor that he received a bribe. So what has happened between May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December? We are now in February. This is complete political witch hunt, which is full of malice. And we want to tell the governor for Kisii County, I have said severally, and I want to reiterate, Kisii County is absolutely rotten. Governor is trying to compensate on his own incapacity and incompetencies. He doesn't want to deliver to the people of Kisii County. There are no services at the hospitals. There are no classes for ECDs that are being built. There are no boreholes. There are no springs which are being constructed. There are no roads. So instead of the honorable members and the public asking him questions to account to the insufficient and incapacity, is resulted to creating drama. And for your information, and this is where I'm going to complete, the Controller of Budget has released the report on the County Government Budget Implementation Review Report for 2023-2024 Quarter 1. And in that report, the report demonstrates that Kisii County has only been able to absorb 1.7% of the total development budget. You can imagine for a whole quarter, a governor who will only absorb 1.7% of the development budget. He is not interested about development. He's interested on this kind of malice. We are asking the governor, be a gentleman, deliver to the people who elected you. And that is why also, you will also realize that the only departments which have absorbed their development money in that control of budget report, it is the Department of Agriculture and the Department of Health Services. And your guess is as good as mine, the reason as why those very particular departments have been the only ones which are absorbing that money. I want to tell the Deputy Governor, you should not be worried, because we have already seen this was already political witch hunt. We already knew it was political witch hunt. It is not going anywhere. They only wanted to cause public embarrassment to the Deputy Governor. And then they were also finding it very difficult to withdraw this very particular motion. And they thought the only way to do it is to cause an elapse. Because I will tell you through the standing orders, if that motion is not moved by Friday this week, automatically by the requirement of the standing order, that motion will have died. It can only be reintroduced after 6 months. And that is the embarrassment they only wanted to create to the Deputy Governor, because they know this motion will not go anywhere anyway. It is malice and political witch hunt. Thank you.